Hi again. Now we will complete the story and we will take chapter 9 and 10. Okay, pay attention with me, primary 6, and let's start with chapter 9 and we will take the most important points in the chapters. Okay, primary 6. Okay, I wanted Michael to think that I was still ill. So we told the newspaper that the king had had a very serious accident. So Rodolphe wanted Doc Michael to think that Rodolphe was very, very ill. And Rodolphe Sept and Fred told news to the country that the king had a very serious accident. حادثة خطيرة جدا يا primary 6. Okay? We had sent Johann back to the castle of Zenda, and we had a message from him that the real king was ill. They sent Rodolphe and Sabt and Fred sent Johann to the castle of Zenda, and after that Johann sent a message to them and said to them that the real king was very, very ill. Okay, primary? We made a plan. Who made this plan? I and Sept, Rudolph and Sept, to save the king from the danger from Duke Michael, the primary. Okay. The next night, Sept, Fritz, and I, with six more men, rode out towards the castle of Zenda. The next night, Sept, Fritz, and I, Rudolph. I refer to Rudolph. With six more men, rode out towards the castle of Zenda. Sabt was carrying a long rope. Sabt was carrying a long rope, and I had a short primary. Okay, look here, and you will know that. Okay, primary, look. Sabt was carrying a long rope, and I had a short stick and a long knife. So Sabt was carrying a rope and to hold who primary Rudolph, and Rudolph had a stick and a long knife. Look, the stick here, and this is a knife, and this is Sabt. Hold the rope and make it around the tree. Okay. This is their plan. Look again here. A rope, and I had a short thick stick and a long knife. The night was dark, wet and windy. We stayed away from the town. We met no one. We came to the moat. We stopped near some trees, and the six men hid there with the horses. Sabt tied the rope around one of the trees near the water. I pulled off my butt of the stick between my teeth and went down the rope into the water. I was going to take a look at the pipe. You want to go to the pipe again, your primary, if you remember the pipe, to go to the castle of Zenda, to know the place of the king and to save the king. It had been warm and bright. And the water wasn't cold. The weather had been warm and bright, and the water wasn't cold. I swam around the dark walls of the castle. There were lights in the new building. Sometimes I heard people shouting and laughing, and shouting, speak loudly. Suddenly, a dark shape appeared in front of me. What is this dark shape? Let's know. It was the pipe. The bottom of it was very wide and came out into the moat. I saw something which nearly made my heart stop. What is this thing? It was a boat with a man in it, and his gun was beside me. Likely he was asleep. This man من الحظ من هو كان محظوظ إن هو كان نايم. Quietly I moved closer. The man still slept. هو عدى بالراحة خالص عشان المان ده يا برايمري ما يصحاش. I had very little time. Where the pipe went through the wall into the prison, I heard Richard's voice and I heard the king's reply. أنا كان عندي وقت قصير جدا لما هو عدى البايب دي وراح للبريزون. I heard Richard's voice, one of the men of Duke Michael, and I heard the king's reply. The king's reply, real king رد عليه. In the darkness, I heard the king crying like shout. بيزعق جامد يا برايمري. I had to get away safely and take the watchman with me. I climbed quietly into the boat and hit the man hard on the head with my stick. Behind me, I heard a shout. Someone was calling to the watchman. I reached the side of the boat. Quickly, I tied a rope around the man's body, Sept and Fritz pulled it up. Pulled the man, ya primary, not me. Okay? I climbed up the rope. Then the three men rode around from the front of the castle. They didn't see us, but they heard our 6 friends riding out of the trees. With a shout, they galloped towards them. Then we heard the sound of shouts, and I ran to help our men with Sept and Fred. طبعا يا برايمري المن بتوع دوك مايكل سمعوا الناس اللي هم كانوا السكس من اللي هم كانوا بيساعدوا مين يا برايمري رودولف، كانوا ما بين الاشجار وهم راكبين الاحصنه بتاعتهم، فطبعا دول جريوا على دول عشان يضربوهم بالنار. اول لما رودولف سمع كده جري عليهم بسرعه علشان يحاول يساعدهم هو وسابت وفريس. I ran on with my stick in my hand. Through the darkness, I saw a horse. I jumped at the horse's head. I saw the man's face above me. It was Robert Fantazo. He had only his sword. My men were coming at him from one side and Sept Fritz from the other. With his sword اللي هو يا برايمري اللي هو زي الخنجر يعتبر اللي هو السلاح الكبير ده اللي بيضربوا بيه. اوكي يا برايمري. Look here. This is the sword. Look here at Roberto Fantazo. Rudolph had only the stick. Okay, السيف بتاعه يا برايمري. I jumped at horse's head. I saw the man's face above me. It was Roberto Fantazo. He had only his sword. My men were coming at him from one side and Sept Fritz from the other. With his sword he hit my stick. Then he turned his horse, galloped to the moat and jumped into the water with our pallets. Go away and jumped onto the water with our pallets اللي هي طلقات ضرب نار كانوا بيضربوا نار عليه. Our men tried to shout him but it was too dark and we lost him. طبعا هو ضاع منهم لان كان النايت قلنا كانت ايه برايمري too dark. We had killed 2 of the 6. هم كانوا كده يا برايمري قتلوا 2 من 6. 3 of our brave friends also dead. 3 برضو من 6 اللي كانوا معاهم ماتوا. One day I saw Roberto Fantazo with a group of people in his friend's funeral. What's the meaning of funeral? If anyone die, I will go to his funeral. معنى أصح العزاء بتاعه يا برايمري. I asked him to help me save the king and I will help him but he refused. When Rodolphe saw Roberto Fantazo in the funeral of his friend, he asked him to help him to save the real king, but Roberto Fantazo refused. When I returned home, there was a message from Anton Domoban. She asked me to save her from that terrible place and from those murders. Asked him to save him. asked Rodolphe to save her from the terrible place and from those murders. ان هو يساعدها لان هي كانت في الكسل في اوبزن، ان هو يساعدها من المكان البشع ده وان هو من ايد القتلة دول. Okay, primary. Now we will take chapter 10. The most important points in chapter 10. One day Johann came to tell us that the king was now very sick and that Anton Domoban and a doctor were looking after him. The king was very sick and who looked after of him? Anton Domoban and a doctor were looking after him. 2 of the 6 men were now dead. Okay? There were always 2 watching the king and the other 2 slept in the room above and would hear them if they called. Okay, so 2 watching men, 2 watchmen the king and 2 at the second room. Okay, primary. Richard and Bernician Personian, sorry, watched by night. Roberto Fontes and teacher by day. Okay. يعني هما كانوا مقسمين بعضهم يا primary 6. The dogs rooms were on the first floor in the new building of the castle. Okay, and Anton's room was in the second floor. So Doc Michael, his room in the first floor, and Anton Domoban in the second floor. Okay, now we will stop here and we will take the rest of the chapter with chapter 11 and 12. Okay.